So welcome a few people in here. Does anyone have any like Vue 3 questions or just want to talk about, how Alex had these awesome slides? I like the cool pixelated fonts. Reminds me of my retro games.
No pixel font related questions, maybe.
I know, apparently. Are you using Keynote for your slide design?
No, I make everything on slides.com.
Slides.com, nice.
Mm-hmm.
They've improved the product a lot.
Yeah, and now they have added some cool auto animations and things for when you make the switches, which is really great. This is what I was losing by not using Keynote so far.
That is definitely the biggest pain for Keynote, how to export everything properly. So Slides does a great job doing that for you. Yeah, see, we have a few more people joining. Welcome. All right, so Julian says, aren't filters going to be a problem if you upgrade the app as is?
Yeah, if you upgrade the app as is, filters will break, but there will be some instructions and on how you make the upgrade. So it will be clear that you should replace the filters either with methods or computed properties, depending what it suits your use case. And there might be also a CLI helper that will help with that. Ben, you might have to add something on this.
Yes, there's definitely a plan to have some migration tool to help with automating a lot of this, but certainly for certain things that we can't automate, we will try to certainly provide messages and warnings so that you know what places need to be changed when you upgrade. I guess while we're waiting, so Alex, you could only pick one feature from Vue 3 to have, and then we'd lose everything else. Which feature would you choose?
That's a good one. If it was only one, I think it would be the composition API, right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm very excited for this. Looking forward to replacing all the mixins with the composition.
Yeah, definitely. I think for coolness factor, the teleport is really neat to be able to just like keep your logic in a component, but not necessarily like in control of rendering somewhere else. So I think from a coolness factor, I think right now off the top of my head, I'd have to choose teleport, I think. Although when suspense lands, that'll be very cool too. So it'll be nice to be able to easily detect those things.
Yeah, teleport is very cool too. I'm also excited with component emits option. That's not so like a big feature, but it is very handy. It's so nice to have like an overview for your emits. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like, I think when we had the RFC and starting to discuss it, it was like, of course, like we define, we want to define our emits the same way.
Yeah. And in a team project, when there's many components that emit like more than 2, 3, 4 events, it's so like confusing that you have to go in and find it, like do Command F emit and then read all the events one by one.
Exactly. I guess I'll throw a fun question in the meantime. So during all this quarantine craziness, have you picked up any new like hobbies or TV shows that you really enjoyed?
I picked up a couple of new board games. Let me recall which ones was the best.
Yes, I was going to say, that was a really good follow-up question. You got to tell us.
Yeah, that's also a difficult question. Yeah, equally difficult with a favorite Vue 3 feature. So I really liked some expansions for the King's Forge. It's a dice game that you get to craft things for the king and the queen. So you have to craft swords and shields and stuff. So you are farming the resources, and all the resources are different like colors of die. And then you have to roll and fight with the other players to craft elements in the end of every season. This is very cool.
Nice.
Which else? Also the 7 Wonders, the Duel. I'll join this one.
I haven't played that one yet. Would you recommend it?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
It's a great game. It's a bit different than the full 7 Wonders if you played that, but it's great for 2 people and very intense. Like it's a real duel.
Oh, this is a good question. I might have to help you jump in. Okay, so again, apologize if I pronounce your name incorrectly, but Fotis had a question regarding, with Vue 3, I feel like we are losing the three main factors to use Vue over React: small learning curve, simple API, and good docs. What will be our selling point now?
That's a great question. In general, I don't think that we lose the smooth learning curve in Vue 3. It is a little bit, let's say, different now because there is more ways to learn Vue.js. Like somebody that has no idea about Vue.js can start learning the composition API directly, or start by using the options object. So I think that for beginners or for people that already know Vue.js and they are like let's say they love the objects API, they don't want to switch, this is not mandatory. So it will still be an option to use the object API. And with the composition API, you will have the option to solve some of your current pain points. For example, you will be able to replace mixins with composition functions, and this will make the app better. And if you want to go all in with a composition API, if you're building, I don't know, a bank system where you need to have TypeScript, you need to have security, and you have more strict requirements in a way, then this team might need to have like a very advanced knowledge on Vue.js and the composition API to make these UIs. But for the newcomer or for the average developer that they make their personal website or the company profile pages, they will not need to use the composition API if they don't want to. Does this answer the question, Fotis?
And just
because
to
you have three in one questions.
Yeah, and to jump in on this as well, the really important thing to take away from this is that the composition API is really an enhancement. It is not really meant for like starting out. Like to Alex's point, it can be where you start, but most people will be starting with the object API just because, again, that is sort of Vue's base and where a lot of code bases are. So in that, hold on a sec. Sorry about that. Let me mute this. Okay, sorry. And then as far as docs go, if you so we have a whole docs team dedicated to Vue. So if you find that there's a specific section that's confusing or not, please definitely reach out, file in issues. Docs is still a top priority for us when it comes to ensuring that everyone has a great experience. So hopefully that helps to answer some of your questions, Fotis. We have a question from Anna. Are you planning to update your form validation course for Vue 3 and updated validate?
Yes. Yeah, we're going to update it in probably in a month or so. I think Damien said that the update is almost done. So once the new version is out and stable, we will test drive it, and we will migrate the form validation course to the Vue 3 version.
Thanks, Fotis, for asking the question. Yeah, I know the composition API is can be a little scary, and there's a lot of sort of misinformation about sort of its impact. But if you think of it like how when you first learned Vue, you probably didn't really use slots or scope slots and some like render functions. Like those escape hatches have always been there for Vue. But yeah, so again, like setup, getting out of hand. When we're teaching these things, like it doesn't prevent people from writing bad code. These escape hatches, they're there so that you can leverage them and do good things. But yes, certainly, I imagine we'll see people sort of getting out of hand. So hopefully we can provide more prescriptive advice and the style guide and such going forward as Vue 3 continues to grow and we see it out in the wild. So,
okay, thanks everyone for joining. I will see you around. Bye-bye. Thanks, guys.